What kind of music do you choose to listen to, Chaotic?
Well, normally I listen to high class music. I listen to very classical music. I love like Mozart. I love Berlioz. Obviously Beethoven. I'm actually watching a series about I think the guy's name is Chevrolet. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but it's a black French guy from 300 years ago who was a classical composer, violinist back in the day. I listen to funk music. I also listen to I am a big, huge Sade fan to this day. But no, Beyonce is a whore. Rihanna's a whore,
So,
and
no, no, hang on. Before you get too far off the question that I asked, I appreciate you answering the question. I just wanted to say I too am a fan of classical music.
yes,
But those gentlemen as well have left a very long trail of bastards behind them. So if we're going to call a spade, I think we need to really talk about the type of environment that certain artists create. And if we're going
Aren't
to
they
hold
called
them accountable.
the
we.
concubines?
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
ma'am. They would sleep with women and have children outside of wedlock and not take care of them because those children had rights to them because they were had outside of wedlock, which is exactly what a bastard is.
Can I ask?
To this point, those children are still unable to touch the legacy of their lineage because they are actual bastards. So, let's really call a spade and understand that that is a theme amongst musical artists, and not try to demonize people because
Well,
their
whether
skin tones look like ours.
oh, okay. Well, to give you a rebuttal, I had no idea about Mozart's sexual exploits. I always thought that he was it. But the difference between Beethoven, Mozart, Berlioz, and all these classical musicians is that their music.
Words.
Oh, I'm
Words.
sorry. I'm sorry. Do you want me to go on mute for a minute, Coach K?
I just wanted to add that. I
Oh,
thought that was going to what you're saying.
No.
Words.
That actually going on mute would be really fantastic right at this point, only because
I wasn't even
it's
done.
not the lyrics.
I was trying to
No
give a
problem.
rebuttal. I mean, I didn't. I was trying to answer the question. I guess my existence cuts you guys off. So, nevertheless, let's assume Mozart did have bastard children, which I don't know. That was 400 years ago. But what I do know is this, though. They never promoted it in their music. Whereas Beyonce has a following of 30, 40 million women on a planetary scale. So she is literally telling women to be promiscuous. Rihanna is literally telling women to be promiscuous. Mozart never promoted that. Beethoven never promoted that. And to be honest with you, I have no idea whether or not these men really had bastard children. And also, the last time I checked, God's own ordination himself said that the man could be fruitful and multiply. But nevertheless, though. But all right, go ahead.
So you seem to delineate between promoting it and utilizing it to promote or live the life that is not religious, and then brought God into it to sow your wild oats, even though God said to do it under marriage. I'm just trying to. There seem to be a lot of really conflicting ideologies in your very short statement. Could you provide just a little bit more clarity?
Well, my clarity is this: you have no facts nor evidence to substantiate your claim about Mozart, about Berlioz, about any of these classical composers. But what my facts or evidence is this: I can literally look up I can Google search any Beyonce lyric, and she's literally talking about sexual promiscuity in almost all of her songs. So that's the difference. I mean, let's be honest.
So if we're utilizing Google and we understand how to utilize it, we
Well,
can't
let's do
fact
it.
check the fact that these classical composers had a trail of bastards behind them. I'm just,
Okay, well, how about this?
since we're already there.
Okay, how about this then? Give me your evidence about Mozart having bastard children. Put it in the private chat.
Well, I just Googled it. It is there. He has 6 kids.
Okay.
Can we all agree, though, that it is while that is true and that should be addressed, and I think that it's a great point, because if we're going to bring it all to the table, we should talk about how these composers are not innocent. However, it is slightly different if we're looking at music, which I don't even know how we got here per se, but it is different in terms of music that's not has no lyrics, but then music that does talk about certain things. I'm not saying that because Mozart doesn't have lyrics that totally like negates his wrongdoings, you know, his activities, but I do think we should at least acknowledge that the music is different. Is that fair?
Can I ask you a question though? Let's be honest. And I'm listening to you, Coach K. Trust me, I am. And happy White History Month to you as well. People aren't having promiscuous sex listening to Mozart and having children outside of wedlock.
They may.
They may. No, they may, Shan. You may
like that classical guy. Did you see when like 50 Shades of Grey? That was like classical music, right?
But let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Get it in.
Let's be honest.
That was fantasy, by the way. Okay.
People are making.
Gotta be guys out there like
people
that.
Are making. Let's be honest. Children are being bred to Beyonce lyrics. Let's be honest.
Are they really?
Come on, outside
Put
of
that Beyonce on. Like, who does that?
Well, yeah, they put that partition on. That's what they do. Some Beyonce. They about ready to go ahead.
Put it this way: I've never had sex to Mozart, but I've had
So
you was listening to Beyonce on record.
Like Rihanna, not Beyonce. No.
So you think babies aren't being made to Sade? I'm just curious.
See, you're okay, but hear me out though. That might be true. I agree with you on that. I've had a lot of. I'm pretty sure we've all had a lot of sex to Sade, but Sade her aura is different from Beyonce. Oh, okay. I guess it's not. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I guess it's not. All right, go ahead.
Go ahead, Marky Mark.
So I just want to add this. Lik Mik Im Arsh. I don't know if I pronounced it right, but it translates to lick me in the ass. It was one of Mozart's published works. Bona Nox, which is give them a, so he does have some just the title alone. Granted, it's musically inclined, so it's not gonna have the same lyrics. But I don't know. Maybe he was doing the Pornhub intro before Pornhub for an entire song.
Watch the notes like spell out some really nasty stuff or something.
Well, can I add something right quick?
Okay, go ahead, Harris. I did not have a question. Go ahead.
So I used to take music lit when I went to school, right? And it radically changed my perspective because we had to go through the Baroque period, romanticism, like you had to go through all the periods of music. And here's what dramatically changed my thought process on music and why it changed my music selection significantly. Most of the music that started in the church, right? And a lot of the music that they had in the church, it was to get you to do certain things throughout the service. Same thing in today. When you're in the military, there are certain songs that's played for you to do something. As far as get up, in your car, when you turn your car on and make certain noises. Music has always been designed to get you to do something. So I agree that there are some contradictory statements that Chaotic is making. However, the overall point that he's saying that music is designed to get you to do something. And if you're not listening to his lyrics, you could be falling into the very things that you say that you don't agree with, which is why to this day, a lot of people will sit here and say that what women say and what women do is two different things. They want to be respected as XYZ, but it's hard for us to tell the difference when you co-sign the behavior that you don't agree with and you out here listening to the stuff that you don't agree with. So it makes it pretty hard for anybody to realistically believe you are doing what you're talking about when you listening and promoting and purchasing and putting your own money to the things that's destroying your communities. So I don't always. agree
That's
with.
weird to me. So because I know that when it comes to rap music, are you out doing the things that rappers say that they're doing? Just because you listen to
might
it?
not
I don't listen to
necessarily.
the music, but I
Some
know that
people,
it's very graphic, and I would hope that most people aren't doing the things that they listen to on the radio for the most part.
well, do you not think that when they started talking about drugs like Percocet and Molly, that kids won't out here doing it?
Oh, well, we're not talking about kids. You said in a
I'm talking
general
about
as
adults too.
women. Oh,
We
right.
talking about lean. We
But
talking
your
about Hennessy.
but your statement wasn't some, because we can all agree that some are very impressionable, especially children. Your statement was it becomes with women in general.
I was talking about specifically
men
what he's
don't
saying.
listen to inappropriate music.
Well, what my original statement was is that you have to understand that music was since the beginning of time. Music was created to get you to do something. Maybe to get up, stand up, cut this off, cut this off. Like music was designed for a purpose. That don't mean that you're going to do the purpose, but it was designed for a specific purpose. And I believe, like, if you listen to any lyrics from most of the women that you see in the mainstream, the messaging and the ideas that there's being said, some of those women don't even agree with. Like even Beyonce, if he cheat, leave him. But yet she's still with Jay-Z. So it's like, I agree with Inaz that if you look at Mozart, he might not have specific lyrics that told you to do something, but his lifestyle showed you something else. I can agree with that. But however, let's not discredit the fact that your music was designed for a purpose, and it might be telling you to do something that you would say that you don't agree with, but you promote it, you play it, you support it with your money, and you spend time defending other people that do the same behavior that you know is an issue.
But I think that it's safe to say that's all music. It's not specifically women's music. It's
you can make that argument. I'm fine with that. But my original statement is that you have to understand.
I'm sorry, that's my son.
Okay. I'm just saying my original argument is that you have to understand all music is designed to get you to do something. And you should be careful what it is, or you should listen to what it is that this music is wanting you to do. That's all I'm saying.
So I just wanted to ask, because Shane asked a question that at least I didn't necessarily hear the answer to. So I'm going to maybe restate it again. What difference does it make in terms of the rap music that created division amongst men and women that men listen to that is not as problematic as the pop and R&B that these women promote? That
we're not arguing how problematic.
No. So the way that you had stated it was that this music is to create a divide that these women are listening to, and then it's promoting something. It's promoting women to move in a way that may necessarily be against their better interest, right? That was your stance. So when Shane asked, well, okay, we can understand that when it comes to what these women are talking about, but how come we don't have the same smoke that comes for rap music that talks about dog walking women, that talks about running through these women, that talks about sleeping with wives, that talks about all of these like very degrading things that women also listen to, and we don't carry the same smoke for them the way that we do the Keke Palmers, the Rihannas, the Beyonces. So there just needs to be a disparity in terms of how much pushback we have for the music that's catered to women versus the music that's catered to men.
Well, I think personally that's selection bias, because there was definitely hearings about just having guns in songs. They had parental advisory to be like, yo, listen, don't listen to this just because in the mainstream. And plus, you got to understand, women spend way more money than men do, and they're way more impressionable. The reason why a lot of these women got the same hairstyles, they be talking to the same guys, they be asking for the same things. Women seem like they're more followers than men. And I'm not going to argue with you that the music that brothers be listening to be a problem. That's the reason why a lot of them drink. A A lot of them have sex with a whole bunch of women. They don't take care of some of their responsibilities. They do whatever they want to. They love to say they're going to have sex with this woman and this woman and that woman. I'm not arguing that it's still not a problem. What I'm saying is if you're going to listen to something, whether it's a person telling you to do something or it's a piece of music, it's designed to get you to do something. That's the reason why the most profitable songs are the songs that have dances in them. You got Lean Back, you got the Soldier Boy. These songs pale in comparison to the amount of money that a lot of these other more exciting songs or message-driven songs would be. But the reason why they're so popular and they make so much money is because it's clear message of getting you to do something. You got the wobble, the electric slide, you got the cha-cha slide, you got a whole bunch of line dances. These things are popular because it's clear what it is they want you to do. They want you to get up and dance. Clear.
You know what? Let me just shut up. Let me just shut up. We may get into it later. Go ahead, Chaos.
I'll pass. Never mind.